attitude, and he's so competitive, and those are things that we've talked about for 3.5 years lead up to this point in time, and here you have your quarterback with that same type of attitude, and it's catching.
The win over Villanova lifted the Terriers into the top 25 as the national pollsters just couldn't hold off any longer. In Game 5, BU would face a whole new challenge. Crosstown rival Northeastern University got on the board early when Jeremy Gobeil caught a first-quarter touchdown pass from Farzell Pearl. For the first time this season, the Terriers were trailing. A challenge, to be sure, but not the biggest challenge for this team. That might have come even before the season began.
I remember Coach Allen saying to us as well, our program is at a crossroads now. And the 93 season is going to be a key season for us, for this program, for BU football.
Trailing 7-3, the Terriers were ready to stage their first of many second-half revivals. The defense had kept it close, and Robert Doherty came out of the locker room throwing. He hooked up with Zach Burwell out of the backfield for a 22-yard gain. And to complete this 11-play, 82-yard drive, he looked to one of his favorite touchdown targets. And Doherty back to throw. He's going to go end zone. He's got a man. Touchdown, Carnell Henderson! Boston University finally had its first lead, and points were a scarce commodity on this day. Still up by only 3 midway through the fourth quarter, BU faced a 3rd and 13 at the Northeastern 15-yard line. It would turn out to be another of Henderson's 7 touchdown catches on the season, tying Andrade for the team lead. Northeastern would have chances in the final minutes, but May pulled down one of 3 BU interceptions. And with a vocal crowd of Terrier fans on hand for the game, John thought it would only be neighborly to go over and say hello. The come-from-behind win allowed the Terriers to hold the K9 Classic trophy for the 2nd straight year. After playing their first 5 games without leaving Massachusetts, BU then faced a road game against a nationally ranked team, the University of Richmond. With their first possession, the Spiders put together an impressive touchdown drive for an early 7-3 lead. Minutes later, they were poised to strike again when Pablo Rodriguez turned the whole game around, intercepting this Greg Lilly pass in the end zone. Without warning, the Spiders were about to have a red nightmare. It was like Grant taking Richmond all over again. Here comes the pressure. Doherty will loop it toward the end zone over the shoulder of Andrade. Did he make the catch? He did! Jason Andrade makes an unbelievable catch! It's a touchdown for Boston University! What a catch by Jason Andrade! Double slot set again as Paul Francisco is one of the slot men back in the game. The give is to Burwell on the delay. Big hole up the middle. 20, 15, 10. He's gone! Zach Burwell for a touchdown! The offense scored 38 unanswered points, while the defense, aptly named the Red Storm, forced 8 Richmond turnovers. After this game, there would be tears in the BU locker room. This win guaranteed a winning season. It was a total team victory, and once again, the Terriers made it look easy. And Zach Burwell could have run all the way to Williamsburg without being touched on that play. Homecoming 93 was a happening at Nickerson Field. The 6-0 Terriers were greeted by a near sellout crowd, a crowd that was hungry to see history.
We wanted the fan support. We wanted the student body support. And that's something that we had always hoped for, and now we finally got it. So a little nerves go through you, the pregame jitters, just a little more, because now you have the opportunity. You don't want it to let it slip away. And that was real exciting for us. We look, and there's a whole sea of red, and the whole grandstand is filled, and that was a great feeling.
Never had a BU football team won 7 straight games to start the season. To get it done, the Terriers would have to beat a Rhode Island team picked to finish last in the Yankee Conference preseason media poll. But by this time, everyone knew how much that poll meant. BU was picked to finish next to last. The Rams scored first when tight end Frank Marinella got loose behind the BU defense. The early jolt only seemed to inspire the Dogs. On their first possession, 3rd and 16 at midfield, Doherty goes deep for Jason Andrade. The circus catch gives Boston University a 1st and goal. And on the next play, Doherty showed off another wrinkle in this dangerous offense, the option. The junior quarterback threw 18 touchdown passes during his sparkling season, but he also ran for 11 others, second on the team to Zach Burwell. The Z-Train would get his own shot at the end zone on the very next drive. It was 4th and goal at the 1, and Burwell powered in for the score. Just minutes later, when Rhode Island had a chance to tie the game from close range, the Terrier defense again took center stage. 3 stops inside the 2-yard line set up 4th and goal at the 1. Hickson on the turn, the play action fake, he'll be sacked! Back at the 9-yard line! The BU lead was still just 21-13 at halftime. The defense was hitting hard in a grinding physical game. And in the third quarter, a couple of guys named John rocked Nickerson Field. 3rd and 15. Hickson back to throw under a heavy rush. The ball is loose on the field. John Schaefer picks it up. He's at the 20, the 15, 10. Touchdown, John Schaefer! And not long after that came this. From the right side of the screen, senior linebacker John Hickey smothers a long field goal attempt and scoops it up for a touchdown. These 2 plays demoralized Rhode Island and energized the Terriers. The win moved BU into the top 10, earning them their first ever first-place vote. But the most difficult part of their schedule was still to come. The last 3 conference games would be on the road. So it's no wonder that while the Terriers were enjoying the homecoming party, they were also thinking of home. Game 8, Durham, New Hampshire. And for the 4th week in a row, the Terriers fell behind in the first quarter. But their comeback skills had been proven, and they'd prove them again for the Wildcats. Another pattern was also well established: vital contributions from up and down the roster. For a retooled team with so many new faces in new positions, the Terriers were showing impressive depth. Sophomore linebacker Jose Condi got his first college start in the New Hampshire game, replacing the injured Mark Fossey. And all Condi did was lead the team in tackles with 12. Sophomore cornerback Lex Thornton fit right in with an aggressive, hard-hitting BU secondary. And among the junior college newcomers was defensive tackle Anthony Primavera, who's fun to watch both during and after the play. Junior linebacker Andrew Brennan, who set a school tackle record in 1991, was back after a career-threatening injury. All the pieces combined for another come-from-behind win. And when the Terriers returned to Boston against the overmatched University of Buffalo Bulls, more players could enjoy one more bow at home. In the trenches, the offensive and defensive lines can sometimes be taken for granted, but never by their teammates or coaches. Punter and place kicker Mike Morello led the team in scoring with 94 points. He missed just 1 of his 50 extra point attempts, and he tied the school record with 15 field goals. His most important kick of Boston University football players